Hi, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Allison.
So, we are recording this to document and to keep and let us look back on it whenever we're in Alaska, regardless of success or failure, but to also allow us to share this with friends and family in a platform that's easier for everybody to get to, where it's not too difficult, where we're sending emails of gigantic file sizes all over the place. They can go to one place and find it on YouTube and see from our perspective what we're doing, what we've built, and what we've accomplished. We're excited to go up there to Alaska. This opportunity's kind of shown its face, and we thought, you know what, let's go ahead and take it. A change of scenery from Texas to Alaska would be a good idea. And to be frank, I'm not a big fan of the Texas heat. I mean, the last month and a half, we've been outside fixing trailers, moving stuff around, this, that, and the other. And it's hot, it's humid, it's miserable, it's muggy. So you know what? I'd much rather complain about the cold versus the heat. And that's what I'm excited about. I'm also excited to see the wilderness, and the prettiness, and the beauty that Alaska has to have, or to hold.
And the other thing to add on to that is you can always add a layer, because if you're cold you can add a layer, but
Yeah.
You can't take more off.
Exactly, you can wear 2 pairs of underwear, and pajamas, and long johns, and 2 coats, and I don't know, balaclava to cover the face. But I mean, this is as little as I can wear to get away with here, and it's still muggy. I mean, we just had this nasty rainstorm run through, and
It's humid.
it's akin to a soup.
Yeah, kind of like it. Kind of like you put yourself over a boiling pot of water.
Yeah. So this is our video and our series and our documentation of a record keeping of a very, very, very long trip.
Yes.
And I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'm like, I'm ready to hit the road.
Me too. I also want to show this off just because I can. There's a Cardinals Nest right near where the trailers are and the house door is. So every time I come outside to do something, I'll see the cardinal sitting right here, take a look at me, run off. And every time I come take a look at these eggs, just to see if they've hatched just yet. I'm hoping I'll be able to see them before we leave, but it's nice to see them right there. This one's going to be the enclosed trailer. As you can see, most of this has already been put together. Kind of the idea of what we're wanting is already in the process of being made. So the goal here is we're going to have almost like these pickets that go across the entire sides, crossing over the wheel well here, finishing up the back with the scaffolding on the inside acting as extra stability support or structural support on the inside, whereas the plywood is going to be sandwiched in between those. I'll come around the side to show that off a little better what the idea is going to be, but how the layout is going to be is back here in the back. The generator is going to be sitting way back here in the rear. Solar panel is going to be right here. Miscellaneous stuff, and we've even got 3 spare tires kind of tucked in right in there, and a 4th spare sitting up here on the front. We're almost done putting this thing together, or at least most of the stuff that needs to go onto it. I mean, I've got some jerry cans here that still needs to get put up there, some miscellaneous stuff still floating around, but for the most part, everything is up here on the trailer where it needs to be. Over here on the other side, this big old mess right here, this is a log splitter. Not most of it, but mainly the larger sections, such as this. I'm not sure what to call it, but there's a piston down there that drives the axe down to here. That's that top base. Here is the engine for that log splitter and the oil reserve for that. And somewhere in this amalgamation of metal is going to be the base where the rest of this hooks onto. And of all this stuff that got put up here, that log splitter was the most difficult of it all. We didn't have any kind of heavy equipment for this other than the sawmill right here, where there was a front loader that we used to get it up here. Everything else, we had to pretty much load it up by hands. The goal and how we're going to have this is we're going to be putting the plywood in between the 2x4s and the scaffolding, sandwiching between the two, and applying the screws on through this way, so that we're not worried about the tarp that's getting put over all of this to end up with punctures, holes, allowing water to leak in, to get anything wet, soaked, or anything like that. So that's what's going to happen around this side, the other side, but for the most part, this section here is pretty much done. What we've got here is this generator sitting on a 6x6 right down here, and we're going to screw all this in, hope everything sits. We've even got this ratcheted down with a big kid ratchet from this end through the frame of this generator right through here, which attaches to the other side of the trailer. Now, I'm hoping, praying, we're not having any kind of problems, but anytime we stop for gas, food, whatnot, I'm gonna come back here, check all these straps. Everything's still sitting nice and pretty, so we're not in the middle of somewhere finding out, hey, we've lost X, Y, Z. There's a 700-pound generator rolling down the highway, becoming an obstacle for other drivers. Under this tarp right here, this is going to be that sawmill that we have. You can't see most of it because we do have some of the plywood already applied up here, but on this one, we are looking at 1,300 pounds on that one, all sitting right here over the axle, allowing better weight distribution. But we've got this tarped up, ready to go. This was the only thing that was on the front end loader, making life a little bit easier compared to everything else. Here's just a quick little overview about this flatbed trailer. On this one, this is going to have a capacity of 10,000 pounds. Trailer itself is going to weigh 2,490 pounds. The axles themselves are going to have 6,000 pound axles each, and the tires are rated up to 11,320 pounds themselves. So on my truck, I've got an F-150, and with all the weights combined, I'm going to have just below what I'm able to carry. So we've been trying to figure out what's able to get taken this trip, what's going to be taken next trip, but we have most of what we need up here, and we're just pushing the limit of what this trailer is able to do. Same thing with my truck. New day, same trailer. We got most of the stuff up there, excluding a couple things here and there, but it'll be pretty easy to get the rest of those put in the side of the trailer. What we're doing this morning, we're getting a Equalizer. What do you call this thing? Equalizer.
It's a weight distributing hitch platform with a sway control.
So we're getting that on this morning because we've got the F-150. We're going to take that to go get this entire trailer weighed. Now, I was told multiple times that we have to have this thing on here. We had to go get bolts cut for it, find the parts for it, but we got everything. Getting it on shouldn't be too long before we get the F-150 hooked up to this, but everybody told me the same thing. No, you gotta have it, no, you gotta have it, no, you gotta have it.
Leave a comment down below if you think he has to have a weight distributing platform. Keep in mind, 10,000 pound trailer, 4,000 pound truck.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Oh, I'm the father-in-law. Yeah.
All right, so this is all attached. I'm getting ready to get this pulled out, but frankly, I think it's going to take a little more than just a little bit of gas, two-wheel drive to get this out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to put this in 4-low, but I'm going to go find out. It's going to be fun. So we're put together for the most part on the trailer. It is not the best way of putting this together, but this is just supposed to hold us for 40 miles to and from the scales for us to get a weight on this and make sure we're not overloaded on anything. But we've got the weight distribution machine right here, leveled up pretty good. We got as many strap ties as we possibly can on this thing to make sure that the tarps don't fly away. But the one thing I'm not really too proud about is this right back here. So I can imagine whenever we're ready to go, we'll find some other way to get this put together a little bit sharper, a little bit cleaner. But for the time being, that's fine. That's fine. We'll get the rest of this kind of tied down before we go, but I mean, this is ultimately what we're going to be doing for the weight. But again, 40 miles to from, it can't be that bad.
Andrew is filling up the tires. I've commandeered his GoPro. He's got to fill those up to 80 psi. I don't think he wants to. It's hot out there, but he's doing it.
right, let's go weigh it. Cool, so we just got the trailer weighed with the truck on it. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna remove the trailer, move the truck onto the scale, find out what this thing weighs by itself. Then once we have that information, put this back together, get this sent back home, and then from there, figure out what else needs to happen. But another step done. All right, so we got things weighed, everything's connected one more time. We're getting ready to get out of here. But driving up here, especially for a trailer being full for the first time, a little bit nerve-wracking because I've never driven with a trailer ever. So to have a trailer maxed out on the road with everybody being busy, it is a little bit nerve-wracking, but hey, made it, weighed, good to go. Just got to take it back home, put it back on the ground, and then get ready for whatever's next. All right, so we've made it back. Tarp, not really made it. I mean, this side right here has been flapping in the wind the entire time, and if you feel it, it's all tattered, torn, and it's only made maybe 50, 60 miles. This is supposed to make it 5,000 miles. This is not going to survive whatsoever, so we've got to figure out a different way of putting this together, and it might be either a thicker tarp, canvas, or saran wrap this entire trailer to make sure that doesn't happen again on whatever we plan on doing for the next one. We even had some tie downs back here for bungees all the way back here, but look at this. That's not gonna make it at all. That's terrible. This one's even missing too. So, I don't know. Something else is gonna have to get done because this is not gonna cut it. I'm also going to take the moment to show off the enclosed trailer that we have. This one's going to be a 28 foot. So in the terms of trailers, this thing's a monster. Huge, 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 huge. So right now it's a little bit of a mess, mostly because we're doing projects, fixing up the trailers, moving parts around in the trucks, stuff like that. So when we're getting ready to go, this will be cleaned up. I'll even show it on the inside, but right now a lot of the stuff is just out because we need to get the tools, which are lined through here, here, and just a little bit scattered back there. How this is set up is we have toolboxes maybe 8 feet up. Further beyond that, another 4 feet is going to be the miscellaneous boxes, and a lot of the section on the inside over the axle, or just in front of the axle, that's going to be a bunch of those plastic crates that we have. I think there's a total of 58 of them or something like that. It's a huge number, but it is a massive, massive, massive amount of weight right there, up there in the middle of the trailer. But what surprised us was not the amount of, the lack of space, more of the weight that a lot of the stuff took. We came up as we were putting all this stuff together and found out that a lot of this stuff just takes up so much weight, making us have to take that secondary trip back down here to get the rest of the stuff. Nice little side shot of the enclosed trailer. Again, this thing's massive, tall, wide, long. So on the bright side, I'm not the one who's having to carry it. That's going to be Scott's job, but it's still a massive trailer nonetheless. Now, just like the flatbed, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the weight distributor on here as well, which will be a project for another day. We're not doing that one today. Editing is going to be pretty much what we're going to be doing today. Now, the very front of the trailer, we have televisions, guitars, some extra stuff like the sound deadening boards here, Hot Wheels. So up here in the trailer, there's a couple more things that need to go in here, like a humidor, a grandfather clock, and some other stuff as well. But it's going to be organization first, getting all this stuff tied down. And that's another thing we did all along the trailer, from up here to all the way back here in the back. On the other side of the boxes, there's going to be these tie-ins on the sides of the trailer, on both sides. So we have the ability to put like these boards here, or ratchet straps to make sure that everything's sitting steady and sturdy for the entire 5,000 miles. So again, come through back, get all this cleaned up, organized a little bit better, and then once everything's in position, get it tied down and in spaces that are more comfortable, a little more cleaner versus kind of like the hodgepodge of a mess. Now this is me and Allie's truck, so we've got that not too long ago. This is going to be the 2019 Ford F-150 STX. Now what's nice about this one is this is going to have the 5.0 Coyote engine in it. I've already come through. I have a third leaf spring on here, which the other side I did first, which was a big old pain, but the second one managed to come up pretty easy. But we had that to make sure that weight distribution or squatting as we're going along is going to be mitigated a little bit better. I do have a really nice bed liner on it too, which I'm quite happy to have. But the biggest thing I do appreciate is this doesn't have carpeting. This is going to have plastic on the bottom. So I don't have to worry about vacuuming and cleaning it all the time. All I gotta do is go through with a wipe and just clean it off. So day of moving, and massive changes has happened to the trailer. So we got rid of the tarp, or more specifically, the tarp is underneath this tarp. What this tarp is, it is the same tarp that you see on 18-wheelers that have loads that require something to go over it. So all across here, there are these D-rings that have really good tension on them. And we're hoping that with this, we're not gonna have flapping, flopping, ballooning, or anything like that on our way down. The other tarp that we had that got tore up on the way over there to the weigh station is underneath this. So we're hoping that it adds an extra layer of waterproofing. So we're gonna see if that works. If it doesn't, I mean, that's all right. Most of the stuff has a second layer of tarping or is able to get a little bit wet. So it should be all right. This spaghetti nest of straps, though, it is a mess, but again, they're all up here for a goal to try to keep all this together, keep this tarp down, and prevent this from flying off. With the number of straps up here, I mean, it should work. It's a lot. It's a lot of tension on it, so it should hold. If not, we'll figure something out on the road, which is going to suck, but you know, it is what it is. All right. This is day of. Trucks are staged, everything's packed. We're eating breakfast right now, getting showers, everything else, doing the final checkups, and I'm out here doing this. So, this is it. This is the last day I'm going to be in Texas for a while. Our first stop's going to be in, I think it's Wyoming. And I'll have a separate video for the trip itself, but this is it. Trailers are together, everything's packed up. There's not much else to do. Get in a truck, start driving is the only thing left. And one final thing before I go, the birds, they hatched. Look. Tiny, teeny little cardinals.